Hello everyone and welcome to Sunday. Sundays have been really great over the past month because we've been taking them off. Historically, we've wanted to do that. We haven't always done the best job of that, but lately we have, and it's made a huge difference. For one, we've been using Sundays to do personal projects, and getting that sort of thing done really creates motivation, fulfillment, inspiration, and it also, just taking a day off to not do anything related to our traditional work makes the rest of the week better, especially Monday. I've noticed that we've been particularly productive on Mondays.
We picked this day because we're up late on Saturdays.
It's true. Today, we are tackling a new project. Whenever I got the new computer, I still haven't had a chance to adequately dive in and start using it and everything, but I've been thinking about how I would like the room laid out and how I'd like things to change a little bit, because unfortunately, with the iMac being in the center, a lot of stuff needs to change with how I do Morning Mario, with how I do First 20 streams, and ultimately with how I want to do, additional solo streams, because there's a lot of single-player games I would like to play on my own on Twitch at some point in the near future. And I had a few ideas in mind, and I was running them by Mal, and she came up here and looked, and she's like, why don't you just rearrange this side of the room? She's like, I'll just give you my desk, because Mal has an extra desk. And she's like, I'm not even really using it. I could get by with just putting my stuff on one of the...
bookshelf or something?
A bookshelf or one of our spare coffee tables. She's like, then you'd have just two desks. And I was like, are you sure? She said, yeah. I said, okay. So... So right now... everything is moved off, which has caused, just a little anxiety, but it's not too bad. And what's going to happen is this desk is going to move over here. We're going to bring up Mal's other desk or spare desk, which is like this, but smaller, and that's going to go here. This is still going to be where I do streams and Mario and stuff like that, partially because there's no good place to put the green screen other than here. There's not enough room to put it here, really. So we're going to put Mal's desk here. All of my editing station stuff will be over here, and all of the recording / streaming stuff will be on this side. And I'm excited. I'm excited because it's gonna give me a lot more space up here, but it's gonna separate things in such a way that it'll inspire me to actually do streams. People tend to have really enjoyed when I've done solo stuff, and I want to continue to do that, but I really need a better setup, and this will help me achieve that. So right now, there's just a plethora of stuff all over the couch and everywhere, the floor. So we're going to bring Mal's other desk up, clean this area really well, since we haven't done that since we moved in, and then start to hook everything up again and see what happens. Because even right now, we put it on paper. We had some measurements. We put it on paper. We're pretty sure that everything's going to work out how we want, but everything's going to have to be rewired, and it's a heck of a Sunday project. Well, we're getting somewhere. This is now over here. We've decided to put the stream box here. No matter which way you slice it, there's going to have to be long cables running somewhere, because we had two main options. Option one, put the stream box where it is. Option two, put the stream box in the corner here. Now the advantage of the corner is that it's about midway's distance between this stream setup, which is the couch, and this stream setup, which would be, solo stuff. But we're streaming more over here. And also, the stream box is then physically closer to all the consoles, aside from the PC, which will be over here. But for the consoles, it's closer to that, so that seems like an advantage. No matter what, in either scenario, long cables have to be run for something. But I think fewer long cables will have to be run from this particular setup. Probably. Either way, I'm excited at where things are going. But I think the next step is to get the desk up here, and that's going to be something. This desk looks so tiny now that I've been using this desk. And this desk doesn't look that big because I've been using it for so long. But now that I have this other desk up here, I'm like, this is like a little baby desk. And Mouse,
a little desk.
And Mouse says this is the one that I was using, you said, in Colombia.
In Colombia.
So I've had this a long, long time. Dang. But it'll meet the needs of what I'm trying to do. So it'll still work. But yeah, all the recording, streaming stuff for, solo stuff, Mario, First 20, etc. will all happen here. And I'll put the green screen back here. And I gotta get the lights and stuff on there. So it's a work in progress. The other thing is that I haven't finished the migration from the MacBook to the iMac. So even though the iMac is up right now, the MacBook's gonna be next to it for at least a few days. Hopefully by the end of the week. Hopefully I'll have things migrated over to a point where I feel safe shutting down the MacBook, putting it in the case, and just continuing to exist on the new computer. There's still a lot to do tonight, but we gotta take a food break, so let's make a pizza. There we go. So this crust got it's a little crispy on the edges, although I don't really consider that a bad thing necessarily. This is another one of those mixes that you mix up, and it's fine. It's fine. I just really like having the ready-made ones. But one of the things you'll notice on there is chicken. There's some chicken and tomato and some pepperoni. And it's just because we had actually made some chicken breasts for soup, and we had some left over, so that went on the pizza tonight. Looks really good. I know I've said it before, but like, chicken belongs on pizza. It belongs on pizza, and it's so good.
You're really gonna like that.
That is so good. One of our favorite combinations, actually. There was a time, I think when we were in the apartment, we definitely went through a phase where we ordered Domino's a lot. And one of our favorite combos was chicken and tomato. It just works really, really well on pizza. And, the pepperoni doesn't detract in any way. Mm. It's a fresh tasting pizza. It could only be made better if we had spinach. That would have been the other third topping I would have chosen. Tomato, spinach, and chicken. It's just a really good pizza, whether you get it from Domino's or you make it yourself. That's good. That's a good dinner. That's looking a little better. At least a little bit. I know that it's still up on the Donkey Konga box, but that's the height that it needs to be, and the Donkey Konga box works fine. So I'm gonna just keep that up there on the box. This is, of course, where the camera and stuff is gonna be. So I lifted this up and I tested this, and it seems to be the right height and everything, and it looks pretty good. I won't know exactly how all this looks until I have to either do a stream or record more Morning Mario. I just did some Mario, but I could do more, and it might be good to work towards that soon so I can have this all just kind of done, ready, etc. I don't have the audio interface hooked up yet because it's one of the casualties here is that it gets used on multiple things. So depending on what I'm doing, it will have to move around. But that's also the way it's been for a few years. So maybe at some point, if it makes sense, I'll get like a Scarlett Solo, because Mao has one of those and it works really well for her. So that might make sense at some point, but I'm not thinking about that right now. There's too many other things to deal with. I hadn't installed any updates, so I'm working on installing the updates for the iMac. This is where this is going to sit for a bit while we do migration. That's going to be a whole process, but it's got to happen. I'm estimating that it'll probably be up here for a week. Streambox is there. I may have showed that already. I don't know. A lot has happened. There's still a lot of crap just strung everywhere, and some of it's just going to take me a little bit to truly get to and to deal with. So I'm kind of giving myself a little pass right now, and telling myself that I am going to clean stuff up, because the truth is there have been cables like sitting on the floor in piles for months, like things I haven't used or touched. And Mao, she tolerates coming up here because we do, streams and stuff up here. But as soon as we're done, she's happy to leave because it's really a mess. So I'm really glad that she helped, because she's helped me tear things down and put some stuff back up. And I know that I'm only working on this side of the room, but the truth is I'm going to use this opportunity over the next few days to really deep dive into all of the room to make sure that there's not crap just sitting there that doesn't need to be there. For instance, like we finally took the Super Nintendo Classic back downstairs. We used it for Super Mario RPG. We finished recording that months ago, and it had just been sitting here. So I'm trying to be a little more proactive, and it's going to be a bit of a learning experience, truthfully. Now, I think I mentioned it earlier, but I have another monitor coming. It's always been a dream, at least in the last few years, as I've gotten more interested in cinematography and color, to own a color accurate monitor. And that's going to be arriving tomorrow. And that's one of the reasons why switching things to two different areas was good, because I'll have adequate room to put it over here. I mean, everything will probably have to slide down, but eventually the MacBook won't be sitting here all the time. Looking forward to that. I'll talk about that at some later point, because I really want some time to test it myself. I want to make sure that it is the thing that I want and that I want to keep it. So probably won't be talking about it for a while, and then once I know that I'm satisfied with it, it doesn't ship with any dead pixels or anything, because that happens sometimes. As long as I know that I'm happy with it, I want to keep it, then I'll talk about it. And I saw some people were like, "Did you get the Apple Pro display?" No, no, that's it's a very, very expensive display, and while the build quality of that seems really impressive, as well as that stand, Jesus Christ, $1,000. There's other things in the market that more than meet my needs and are a fraction of the cost. So it's exciting. All right, I'm gonna find out what it is we're doing for the rest of the night, because I don't think I'm going to be able to put every single thing away. And Mal and I talked about boxing up some games, and that was going to be a goal, but like it's already getting late, because this all took longer than I thought it would. So Mal said that she wanted to do it, so we did it. So over here, GameCube is now gone. It is no longer on the shelf, which will allow us to finally put all of the Wii stuff onto the shelf. I estimate that from the beginning of all the shelves, it'll probably go to about here, because there's about 1,270 Wii games. The remaining space should actually fit Wii U pretty well. It wouldn't fit all of them, but we don't have them all anyway, so it's not a big concern. But now we can hold all of the Wii. That means that this closet is absolutely packed full of games, and the goal had been to take games out of the old Home Depot boxes. We did a few vlogs about how they are terrible, and they are. They're heavy-duty boxes, but tape doesn't stick to them because of the way the cardboard is made, which is stupid. So we got different boxes, but it took so long to do that we decided to just box up GameCube. So we actually still have some of the other stuff boxed up in Home Depot stuff, but you can see in there like the new boxes for GameCube. So eventually everything's going to go into those new boxes, and we have how many do we have? 25?
Are those boxes? Yeah.
We have 25 big ones. Mm-hmm. And then we have the 25 that the company screwed up the first time and gave us the ones that were too small, but will still hold games. So, yeah, at some point we'll switch everything over from the Home Depot stuff to that, but not today because it's too much work for today. Anubis 2.
Okay.
Aqua Panic.
Okay.
Arc Rise Fantasia.
Okay.
Arcade Shooting Gallery.
Okay.
Arcade Zone.
Yes.
Okay. After Wacky Races Crash and Dash is Wacky World of Sports.
Yes.
And then Walk It Out.
Yes.
And then Wall-E. Disney's Wally.
Where's Wally?
Where is Wally truly? Many, 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 many hours from when we first started. Each many isn't a 1, because that'd be insane, but it's very late. It's very late. Like, we drastically underestimated how long this would take. The advantage is that we finished. The downside is that
It is very late.
it is extremely late or extremely early, depending on how you look at it. It's a Monday, so it's okay. We don't have to wake up for breakfast stream or anything, but like, holy crap, this took a long time. Here's what we did, though. For the first time ever since we've been working on collecting Wii, the games now have the correct number of spaces between them. So whenever you're looking at a game, that game is never moving. That game is exactly where it needs to be. Every game is exactly where it needs to be. We have left the correct number of spaces between each game for the games that are remaining. And we have less than 200 remaining. As of the spreadsheet, as of right now, having not opened mail just yet, I think we have 180 something remaining, which again sounds like a lot, but there's this many. Dear God, we almost have 1,100 Wii games, and as difficult as this was, and this was painful. Mel and I had to take turns because it got too difficult to do. We did get through it, and now we don't have to ever move them into Extra Life. As we finish them, we'll just put them into the spot that we've already allotted ourselves. It also didn't take up as much room as I had thought, so there must be more than 50 on each shelf, which I thought there was. I thought there was 50, but I guess there's more because the final one ends down there, so we actually have this entire shelf. So I haven't done the math on it, but maybe all of Wii U would fit. That's not present Steven's problem. That is future Steven's problem. Present Steven's problem is that present Steven is exhausted. He's more hungry than exhausted, so he needs a snack, but then he's going to go to bed. Mallory, this is the hardest day off
Yeah.
we have ever had.
It is.
I mean, seriously, like, I know that we spent a lot of time working on the filing cabinet and stuff, but that doesn't compare to this. Holy crap. Not only did we completely rearrange this room, and it's not 100% done, but it's largely, a lot of the stuff is in place. Not only did we do that, but then also we were like, let's do all the game shelves too. We pack stuff up, put it in the closet. The Wii games are organized. God, I am so exhausted. We're going to get a bite to eat real quick. Sleep for a long time. And then tomorrow I am going to, hopefully, maybe start cutting on this thing. I'm going to be transferring a bunch of stuff, migrating a bunch of stuff overnight. There's still a lot of migration that I need to do by hand, but I can do some bulk stuff overnight. Also, he has been absolutely loving it up here because there are a bunch of little tiny boxes for him to sit in. It's been a dream. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, let's meet back tomorrow. Ciao.